Hey guys, well, the L9000 still in the shop. I'm in the middle of a couple of videos on getting the engine right, but we're not working on that today. I'm in holding mode, waiting on parts to come back in. So we're working on something else. Let me show you. So if you watched the video where I talked about future plans for the truck, and we talked about the cutoff, the switch to airliner, we're going to drop it down lower. We're going to put 255 rubber on it, all those things. The other part of that transformation for this truck is cleaning it up. I've got some things that and I did them all. Every single one of them I did to this truck.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
And I just don't like it. You guys have heard me talk about how I like to see the functional parts of a truck. Like, I don't need deck plates. If I want a deck plate, I want it because I want it for function, because I need to stand there. But otherwise, I'm okay with seeing this. I'm okay with seeing air valves, and I want to see axles, and I want to see airbags. I want to see lines. I want to see drive shafts. I want to see, exhaust tubing. I want to see filter blocks. Like, I'm cool with that. I like the way axles and lift axles and stuff like that looks. I don't like that perfectly streamlined, half fenders. Sorry, I know that somebody commented I should put half fenders on. I think I've heard that a few times. I fucking hate half fenders. I can't stand them. I'm glad if you like them. I know that it'd be the perfect thing for a single axle and it'll protect from rock chips and blah, 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 blah. I get all the reasons, and I understand that it's perfectly logical, but I don't like half fenders. I also don't like, specifically on trucks like this, where we have a squared off fender and then a round one back here. It's just stupid. It doesn't make sense, and I like the way quarter fenders look. So, soapbox rant, no half fenders are ever going to happen, probably on any truck I ever own. I'm okay with half fender sets on tandems where they come up and then go over part way. That's okay. I don't like full fenders, whether it's a single axle or a tandem. So, sorry, I know I'm weird. It is what it is. The other thing that's going to change is that box is going to go away. I want to do at least one step box. I realize that I still need some space to store some things, so one or two step boxes I think are in order, just some small ones, maybe some 12 inchers, just right here, right behind the tanks, so we still have some frame left. And that box is going to go away because I think it's too cobbled. That way all we have is our pogo stick and our stack box, that good stuff. But then what we're working on today is some other stuff. So I did some things to these mirrors that I don't necessarily like. And it turned out to be too much. And just generally the interior too. So some things that are going to go away. Let's start over here. You see those? The anti-glare purple lights. We're getting rid of them. I don't like them. I don't like the way it looks from the outside. I don't really care for the way it looks on the inside. And I think it's just too much. It's too busy. So those are going away. These mirrors. These are aftermarkets. I put them on. They're lighted and heated. I just think it's too busy. I also think that I don't like the shade of amber that those lights glow. They're a hair darker than the rest of my lights. So that just bugs the shit out of me. So those are going away. Our blind spot mirrors are staying. The strobe lights are going away. I just don't need them. I mean, yeah, I haul every now and then. I haul some equipment for work. I don't need strobe lights. We can turn on the four ways. We're good. So we'll pull those off and maybe we'll use them for something else someday. But those are going away. In the mirrors, in place of all that, so then we got to replace the mirrors and we got to do some different things. So let me bring you over here and let's start with these. I know they may look old and grungy, so So I have a set of doors sitting over in my school bus storage unit across the street that were actually given to me, but they're a pair of really nice shape Ford L Series doors, and they had mirrors on them. There's a mirror brackets over there. So I went across the street and I wanted to pull these mirrors off, and hardware was locked up, so I elected just to pull the whole thing, brought them back here in the heat, put them in the vise, put some MAP gas heat to them, and got all 4 of those nuts off. So now just a little bit of wire wheeling right there just on the studs. But what I like most about these, I hate the squared off mirrors. I like rounded edge West Coast style mirrors. I like the way they look on the outside, and I really like the way they look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? But the most important part about this, they are heated, as you can see. These are OEM Ford original L Series mirrors, and I like that. They have that look. Again, those ones are slightly rounded, not quite as heavily rounded as this. I like the more heavily rounded, which tends to be an OEM look, is that heavily rounded. So we're gonna go put these factory mirrors back on. So we're gonna clean them up. We'll clean up the wiring, and we still got our pass-throughs through the door, so we'll still have that. We're in good shape. We can wire them in. We'll still have the heated mirror switch that we've got on the dash. We're golden. The other part is this right here. So you can see I got a set of Roadworks Hero watermelon lights. This regular old amber. They're not dual revolution, whatever you call them. And then we got these, which everyone's really proud of their brackets. Now these are nice heavy. No, that's not 8th. Actually, damn, that might be 8th. So polished stainless on the outside. And they are going to sit, I guess they could sit here, but more than likely, they're going to ride on that main stud right there. And then we're going to have them kick out at a 45 like that, which is going to kind of mimic those are Roadworks Heroes down there on the bumper. So, as you guys know, I've said it before, I like lights. I don't like too many lights, but yeah, we're gonna have those. And I haven't decided yet. These ones on the bumper are wired, 3 wires, so they are wired to blink with the turn signals, and then they're on steady all the time with the running lights. And I'll probably end up wiring these the same way, but I haven't decided for sure. These may just be running lights. I don't know. I think we could go too far with the blinks. And I kind of like that these are right in line with each other. They're on the front. And maybe we just let these be running lights. The other nice part about that is that we don't have any turn signal wires coming into these doors currently. All we have is running lights for the mirror lights. And so it kind of it would make it a lot easier if I just ran them running lights. So anyway, those are going on too. Those are nice. I'm taking a break here from the drudgery of fixing the head and the motor and the fuel system, and I'm doing some fun stuff, some stuff I like to do. I needed some I don't know, some restoration therapy, I guess you call it. I needed some time to do some fun stuff that makes it pretty and takes a break from what has to be done. So anyway, the other thing I got, these are a little bit bigger, but this steps into some different territory here. So back, almost 2 years ago, I did some, we're still torn apart here. Man, it's warm in here because of that furnace being on. Woo, the truck's got all the heat. So I did an underglow sort of system. And when I did it, I put, you can see them right here, 1, 2, and there's a third one way over there on the driver's side, some green 3/4 button lights. And I don't know if I like the green. I've also I did some 3/4 buttons. They're hanging over here, but I had 2 in each fender liner. And then there's one hidden, I don't even remember where it's at. Oh, I'm looking right at it. Right there. There's a 4-inch round green light. Same matching one on the other side. And then I think we have 2 more 4-inch rounds. One at the back right there behind the hitch plate, and there's one right there, right above the kind kind of right in front of the carrier bearing that lights that part of the underframe. And then we've got these triple markers right here. I don't like the green. You know, I thought about it, and I just don't like it. Again, I'm going for clean and consistent and just classy. And we're going to go back to all amber. So I bought, I've got plenty of amber 3/4 inch button lights to replace the 3 there. I've got 4 amber 4-inch rounds. We'll still have them on a switch. Most of them, I think, you know, because we don't want that on all the time. So I still want that to be controllable. So we'll have those on a switch. I'm going to gain a switch because of my strobes up here that I no longer will have. So I think we're going to convert that switch over to control just the in-cab glow separately. So we'll have the 3 lights here in the cab. Then we'll have a separate switch for our underglow. It's going to be amber now. So that switch will control the 4 4-inch rounds plus the 4 3/4 button lights that are up underneath. But those 3 inside the cab, I wanted a little different look, so I tried these. These are little mini watermelons, and they'll go into that same hole. Hold on, pause. All right, so everything loose. They'll go into that same hole. You can see that's a nice narrow stud there. I don't have to re-drill anything, widen it out, and then they'll sandwich on. And I think those will just look a little nicer, look cleaner, a little prettier. So we'll put those 3 in there. So we'll have amber glow inside the cab, which I kind of dig. So that's a simple, you know. And I see too that these do have 3 wires, so I can wire these. So what I'll have to do is light these up ahead of time and determine if I want the low setting or the high setting. We're clearly only going to wire one of them, but anywho, that's the goal for today mostly. So I'm gonna get after it. I'll bring you along as I go. All right, well, I started over here on the driver's side, and man, just already it's so much cleaner. I mean, compare it. Oh, I love those mirrors. So glad switching to the OEMs. And then, so I've got a Hero mocked up, and you know, we could go to that clamp bolt. That's going to be problematic though, because it's going to have to be at an angle. We don't want that. So I just don't know if this stud though is bigger. I mean, I think that's the spot. I mean, we could go also on the mirror stud, but I just worry that's going to be in the way. I kind of like it tucked forward just a little bit. So if we look here, you know, we're forward versus here, we're tucked in up against that blind spot mirror. In most cases, I've got that turned out. It's going to be spun in a little bit, but I think she's just a little more standalone out here. So I'm going to undo that fastener and we'll see what she looks like. I got to get these mocked up. I've cut the wires. I pulled a little excess through and pulled the grommet. I don't want to have to fish these, you know, I don't want to pull door panels and fish back through. So we're going to do a splice and tuck it down into the door. You won't see it. Obviously there will be a splice that's going to sit over here for the Heroes, but for the watermelon lights. But regardless, I'm gonna pull those apart. We'll mock it up. Once everything's mocked up and the mirrors are tightened on, then I can get to running the looms and figuring out where splices are going to be and all that good stuff. Cool. All right, well, remember when I said I wasn't going to pull the door panel off? Well, part of it was because the wires fell through the door and I had to, but I really think I was going to have to anyway, so it is what it is. I actually realized once I was done I didn't need to pull the door panel. I probably could just pull these pockets, which, by the way, are a giant effing pain in the ass to get back in, and I'm not looking forward to it. But they're even harder to get back in with the door panel on. So at least on this side, that's what we did, and we'll see what the other side brings us. Gives me a chance to lube the window regulator a little bit too, because it looks a little dry. So I've made my connections, did some testing. Everything's wired up there. Everything's wired up here. I gotta tape that up and put some loom on it. And I've tested the mirrors. I can feel that mirror get warm, so it works. All I've got left to do now is I gotta pull the slack back through here and wire up the watermelons and snug up a few fasteners, and this side's done. Okay, well, we did all the wiring and we got everything working. I'll flip the lights back on, but it's just dark enough outside. You can see that's what she looks like lit up now. No more mirror lights. I love it. Got the watermelons glistening. Nice brackets. And of course it matches the bumper watermelons. Now in here, I wasn't exactly sure what to do. I did wire to the dimmer filament or setting, or whatever you want to call it. It's not a filament on an LED, but the dimmer setting versus the brighter. These small mini watermelons actually had, 3 wires as well. So you're gonna have to deal with the low air buzzer, but I have not seen these yet, so this is the first test. 1, 2, and 3. Now it's not completely dark yet either. The problem I had with with those old green ones is they were actually too bright. So I really think actually that's where we want to be. I'll know more when it's dark out. I can always rewire them to the other wire. It's not like I got rid of it, but I think I like it where it's at. And of course, I know I gotta show you in the daylight, if you will, but yeah. She's a little cleaner, a little simpler, and I like it. Love those. I love those watermelons on a 45. Like it. I like the no strobes. I'll be honest with you. If it wasn't so much work to replumb, I'd pull the air horns off the roof and put them, someplace else. Under the frame or hidden away or what have you. I don't know. I might have to think about that. It's just that there's holes in the roof and I don't want to take the headliner down, so F that. We're not doing that. But yeah, there's the driver's side all finished up. Nice looking. I think this side has you can't even see it right now, but maybe you can see it right there. There's a slight, not discoloration, but like a mark on the glass. I could probably take a razor blade and get rid of it, but actually they cleaned up really nice. Did a little quick just hand metal polish. I don't know if you noticed, I did remount my upper blind spot mirror. That's just basically to see the stack or the top of a trailer. Yeah, nice and clean. So those were a nice little free score. They didn't cost me a dime, and they're OEM original, and I like them. Perfect.